everyone. My name is Iman.
And I'm Amal.
And welcome to another episode of the Weird and Wonderful podcast. Today we're talking about something that's very close to my heart.
And mine.
And yours. It's the color concept. So that's what we're naming this episode. And it's basically about how we feel about skin color.
As society as a whole.
Society as a whole and how it has personally affected us.
Yes.
So if I can just start off, personally for me, I've always been known as the dark child.
Right.
Because our brother, who's right after me, who's born only a year after me, is white as snow. And I came out as this dark little girl. Right. And I remember Mommy would, whenever she'd take the two of us out, people would always ask if we were even siblings.
If one of you was adopted.
Yeah. Because I was super dark and he was super fair.
But actually not, looking back at the photos, you guys weren't that.
We were.
Really?
We were.
Oh, okay.
He was very fair and I was extremely dark. Okay. And I guess when we were younger, Mommy used to make me feel better by saying, oh, I used to eat lots of like chocolate biscuits when I was pregnant with you. That's why you came out so dark. And I used to drink lots of soya when I was pregnant with Abdulaziz. So that's why he's so fair, you know?
Right.
So as a child, I didn't really think much of it. Mm-hmm. But it's just when I got older and I got to like primary school, I was like the tennis kid.
Right.
And I'd feel very insecure about it. Mm-hmm. And I was always told to like go outside and like wear a hat.
Really?
Because if not, I'll get darker.
Oh, okay.
And
I didn't know that.
It's always just affected me negatively. And I've always associated dark skin with not being beautiful.
Right. I feel like that's a common sentiment shared throughout this country in general. I can't speak for other places, but for here, definitely. Like when someone is fair, or you see a girl on Instagram who's fair, like they automatically like they say, "Oh, cantik ni dia," you know. But actually, like they're just
putih
fair.
gebu.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not putih gebu.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
so it's like that, and then people who aren't won't get that. I mean, it's not like we're asking for that praise.
Yeah.
It's just that it's so like we associate fairness with beauty.
Yeah. And if you're hitam, you're just manis. You know?
Really?
Yeah, it's hitam manis. That means, you're just sweet.
You're
but
just a
like,
sweet person?
Yeah, you're not like physically attractive.
Right.
You know? And I've always felt insecure to all the girls in high school who were like these like little Snow Whites and I was like the darker girl. So I felt like I was always associated with terms that did not make me a soft girl. So for example, like all the girls who were fair were like, very like soft-spoken and very sweet. Iman, gelap, she's very bossy, very loud. And maybe it is...
To be fair, you were bossy
maybe
and loud.
Yeah, it is because I'm bossy and loud. But I also just find that with the people around us that all these like strong terms are always associated with girls who are like a bit darker and a bit more out there. Because we cannot be like...
demure.
Soft, petite, demure. Those are always associated with
the fair girls.
With girls who are fair.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
So that always ate up at me. And
like even within our family, right? The color of your skin was the butt of jokes when you were younger, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you were adopted or something.
You guys said I was adopted from an African country.
Yeah. So like,
and Abdulaziz used to say that if I was in a darkened room and you guys turn off the light, the only thing you guys could see would be my teeth.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's not very nice.
It's not nice.
No.
It's hurtful. It's painful, especially to come from family.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, like I mean, now in hindsight, you know, I enjoyed it then because I wasn't. Because I wasn't the butt of the joke. As long as it wasn't me, it was fine. No, but seriously though, like on the other hand, like even it's even within family, you know, the fairer children get favored.
Yeah.
You know, in schools, in kindergartens, like the fair kids get favored.
Yeah.
And I feel like some people might do it on purpose, but I feel like there's a lot of people. It's almost natural. Like it just happens. It's so deeply ingrained until you don't even realize that you do it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, Iman, she's the gelap one,
right? And it's just like, why is that? Why does that happen?
I am more than just the color of my skin.
Totes.
Even when I was like a young child or in high school or whatever, like I hated being defined by my skin color. But towards But while it was going on, I just accepted it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm the dark one.
Right.
You
but
know?
It still hurt, but you put it aside.
Yeah. There was even a time, and that's the thing when I contrast that to like living in Canada, living abroad, people there want to be tan.
Yes.
Like over there, if you're white.
If you're white, they're like, oh my God, I'm so pale today.
I'm so pasty.
Yeah, I'm so pasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just...
It's just so interesting to see what society values is beautiful. Because over there, if you're like so white, it's like, oh, what's wrong with you? You look sick.
You're right.
But over here, the whiter you are, oh, mashallah, like Putri Lilin, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm even sure there was a time that I was in Canada and I was asked, so these girls were talking about like going tanning, because that's what you do to like get like a nice tan.
Right.
Because like then you're glowy. They'd be like, oh, I go to this tanning salon. Which tanning salon did you go to? I was like,
I'm Malay.
This is my natural color. And like, oh my God, you know? And they're like, oh, you have like the most beautiful skin color, blah, blah, blah. And I really felt like for the first time that the color that I was accepted, or was not even accepted, was something that other people felt envious of.
Right.
Because over here, it's like, oh, thank God I'm not the dark one. Yeah. Or every time I walked into a room, I'd like look around and be like, okay, there's someone here who's darker than me.
Yeah, no, I would, for me, I'm not like, even then, I don't think we're that different, to be honest.
Amal, I can see you're at least 2 shades of latte lighter than me.
But yes, it has been something that I think I thought about as a kid. Like I would feel relieved if I wasn't the darkest one in the room. You know, and I would reassure myself just in my head. I'm like, okay, no, my friend is darker. And like it's gotten to the point where you think about that when you're a kid, when you shouldn't. You know, because it's not important.
But that's the thing. It's like there are certain brands out there that perpetuate that fairness is the penultimate. Like, for example, I'm just going to come out and say it, like the brand Fair and Lovely. Like, I'm really sorry. I'm sure you have really good products. But the fact that you even say that being fair is lovely and any other color is not, and showing on ads that a dark girl comes in and she uses your face wash, and 3 weeks later she's fair. Yeah. Like, oh, use this face wash, and then in 3 weeks you'll go out like 2 shades.
Right.
Like, what does that tell young children?
Right. Because you have literally no control over the color of your skin.
No, not at all.
And that's not something you have to be worried about, because you just have your skin color.
You don't need control over your skin.
Yeah, exactly. You just have it.
Yeah.
And so why are we so caught up on this, you know? Like all these whitening products and everything. Once we actually used the whitening products
by accident.
We did not know it was a whitening product. We just thought, oh,
it's skincare.
Yeah, it's skincare. Let's just try it out.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Like, it cleared up our skin.
We
were actually on the brink of glowing.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that my skin had gotten fairer. Did you?
No. I was just like, my skin's so clear.
Yeah, no, for me, like, I didn't even realize until...
The fact that some products or some brands even think that women want to whiten their skin, so they've put it in all the products. I think that is unfair.
Right.
Because we weren't looking to get whiter or fairer.
We were just trying out this new skincare, and like it worked really well.
Really well.
And then like
I
put up a photo of myself. Okay, I'm completely cognizant of the fact that I'm not like a pretty girl kind of thing. So like when I put up pictures on my Instagram and stuff, nobody says like, "Oh, you're so pretty," which I'm so okay with that. Like, seriously.
I'll start commenting on
Please don't. It's okay, because I also feel uncomfortable if people say that to me. But anyway, this is the one and only time I've ever had a comment, like, because that photo when I was using that skincare and I was like 2-3 shades lighter, someone said, "Oh, you're so pretty, oh, lawa ni Amal." And that comment like took me, like, I was like, what is she talking about? And that was when I realized, I'm like, oh my God, this skincare has actually made my skin fairer.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. But my point is, why is it that only when I have had skincare products whitening skincare products on my face, someone felt like, oh, she actually is pretty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
the fact that we even associate beauty with being fair, to me, is just mind-blowing. But I also want other girls who feel like they are tanner or who feel like they don't fit the mold to know that you don't have to fit the mold.
You really don't.
Whenever I wear like light colors, I notice that I get lots of comments. especially if I'm wearing white or pink, of girls saying, "You're so brave to wear white and pink. Can you teach me how to wear white and pink?
Interesting.
Teach me how to wear white. Do a tutorial on how to wear white."
What do you mean?
This is my tutorial on how to wear white. Pick up a white shirt, put it on. Take a white tudong, put it on. That's literally my tutorial. Like, it's not to dumb you down or anything. It's just, why is it that we only associate, only if I'm fair can I wear white?
Right.
Only if I'm fair can I wear light pink. What color am I wearing now? Okay. I should have worn white. But it's, you don't have to follow these rules that society has set for us.
Do you think it's like even ingrained in our language in a sense where when you say that someone is pure, they have like a white heart? And then if someone is like bad, like, oh, your heart's so black.
Hitam, yeah.
You know? Do you think it might have something to do with that? Do you think language was formed around this idea, or this idea was formed around language? That's
We'll
like
never
another
know.
thing.
We'll never know.
I don't know.
But I think it's also interesting. I don't know if you've seen this video, but I think it's really old. It's a psychology video where they had children in a room, and they were taping them, and they put out a white doll and a black doll.
Right.
And they were only asked to pick out the prettier doll. Everyone picked the white doll, including black girls.
Really?
Because this was a study, I believe, that was done in the United States. They asked the black girls, why didn't you pick the black doll? They said, because the black doll's not beautiful.
That's so sad.
It's so sad, isn't it? Like, these young girls are saying black is not beautiful, but that is the color that they are. To me, that just reinforced the fact that, inshallah, one day when I have children, or when I am part of a community, to really make sure that, to ingrain in them that the color of your skin does not matter.
Right.
It's the person that you are inside.
Definitely.
It is the actions that you do. It's the things you say, how you carry yourself. That's how you should be judged.
Right.
You shouldn't be judged as you walk into a room being like, oh, she's dark, I don't want to sit next to her. Right. No, see how she interacts with other people. If you if you like the way she's talking to other people, then go and be a part of whatever, her thing.
Right.
Go up and say hi, is what I meant to say. I have been judged many times based on the color of my skin. Judged by aunties who think that I am nothing but a blob of brown skin, and I'm like not good enough to hang out with their daughters. And even with like past boys that I liked, they would never even bat an eyelash at me, because why? Oh, Iman's too dark.
Right.
So you don't know me.
It's so unnecessary. It's like an unnecessary pressure. Like, why has this become a thing?
Yeah.
It just shouldn't be a thing, for me, when I was a kid, it was mostly in my head. Alhamdulillah, I didn't like go through the stuff that you did, but like, it was a lot of it was just me in my head. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm definitely not the pretty one. I'm not the fair one, because I had a lot of like friends who were like fairer than me and stuff, and that would bug me in a sense, like, oh, okay, I just have to be okay with being myself. And that's why I sort of just like did my own thing. I mean, it wasn't just because of the color of my skin, but it was something that I thought about, and it did affect me.
The fact that I'm seeing more and more products pop up, like whenever you're driving down the highway, look left and right, what are those billboards selling? They're selling whitening products.
Yeah.
Mau cantik, mau putih. No, dude, I tidak mahu putih. Like, I am okay with brown, like tan, whatever.
Why is it so bad? Like, I was once with my Somali friend. I have a very good Somali friend, and I was with my Malay friend. So the three of us were together, and I can't remember how we ended up talking about this, but we started describing each other, our skin color, with like a food product, like a chocolate. So I said to my Somali friend that I was like, oh yeah, you're like a nice dark chocolate. I said something like that, and my Malay friend felt the need to sort of retract my statement. Like she said, oh no, she's kind of like a light, like a hazelnut chocolate, like a milk chocolate. Like, she felt the need to apologize on my behalf that I described my Somali friend, who is clearly dark, like she's the color of dark chocolate.
Yeah.
That I just described her as it was, and she was completely fine. Yeah. She was also taken aback by the fact that my Malay friend felt the need to do that.
Yeah, overcompensate.
Yeah. So why is it so bad?
Yeah. But if I'm being like truthfully, like completely honest, it still gets to me sometimes.
Of course. Even people say things and it hurts.
Yeah, and but the thing is, like, it makes me so mad to think that I give other people or even myself the power that skin matters.
Right.
You know, like, for example, like sometimes, like, you know, my husband tells me I'm pretty.
Good for you.
You know, but sometimes even when we're like cracking jokes, like, because Ashraf's very fair.
Right. He's
very fair. And me, not so fair. So people always say like he's like susu and I'm like kopi. And if we ever have children, our children will be like a teh tarik color.
Right.
But then sometimes be like, you know what, maybe a little bit darker than teh tarik. Oh, because Iman is so dark.
Right.
And that upsets me so much because, but I feel like I should be secure. I have a man who loves me, who tells me that I'm pretty. I shouldn't let this bother me.
Right.
But it still does.
Right.
And sometimes when I'm looking in the mirror before I do my makeup or anything, I look at myself like square in the face and I'm like, why do I look darker today? Yeah? You know, I ask myself that.
Right.
And even when I'm like editing photos on my phone, like I'm not consciously brightening the photo because I want to look white. No.
Right.
I'm brightening the photo because I personally think that the photo as a whole looks dark.
Right.
And then when I upload it, I'm like, wait a minute, I look fairer than I actually am. Am I like giving in to this idea that I'm dark and dark is not pretty?
Right. Now that you mentioned, like, even like if I play The Sims or something, or if I'm making an avatar of myself or whatnot, I do, like, there's 2 shades of brown, right? And then there's a darker one and a lighter one. And I want to pick the lighter one.
Yes, I know.
You know what you mean. Even like in the emojis, you know, you can pick the skin color now, and you want to pick the. So like, I don't know why. You know what I mean.
I know we speak out against it. I know we are conscious about it, but it's
so
still
ingrained.
It is, and you know what? I think this is not something that we can change overnight.
Definitely
like just
not.
talking about it now also is not going to change overnight.
Of course not.
It is constantly chipping away at it, and making conscious decisions to not pick an avatar that's so white, to not pick the emoji that's like not your color, you know.
Yeah.
I always pick a really fair emoji with green eyes and blonde hair.
Really?
Yeah. And I showed Ashraf, I was like, does this look like me? He's like, what planet do you come from? That's obviously not you. But you know, like, you just buy into this idea that fair is beautiful and dark is not.
Right.
And more people should come out and say, I mean, look at, okay, for example, like Halima Aden, right? She is, you probably won't know her.
I'm sorry.
She is a Muslim Somali model. Okay. She wears the hijab. She covers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you know her. Yeah. And when she started out, she wore braces, you know? So, and it's almost like she's almost ticked all the boxes of what's not pretty.
Right.
Braces. She's dark. She wears tudong, but she is absolutely gorgeous.
She's beautiful.
She's beautiful, and people like, okay, I mean, I'm just gonna pick obvious ones, okay? Like Naomi Campbell, like she's like this beautiful, like, she's British African, you know, and they're like stunning, and it just goes to show you that you should not be limited by the color of your skin to how beautiful you are.
Right. Haven't a lot of people reached out to you about feeling insecure about their skin? Yeah, and like, you know.
I wrote a column. I had a column, and for one of my articles, I wrote about skin color. I can't remember what it's called. I think
the dark side, something Star Warsy.
Yes, something Star Wars. Welcome to the dark side, or dark side is beautiful, or something. I can't remember what it's called. Which is really funny because that week on the cover they had, I think, like an African American model on it, and she was like absolutely gorgeous. So I thought, oh, that's such a nice fit. But basically in there, I just like voiced how I felt about growing up in a Malaysian, Asian, Malay, Muslim society, being darker than the average girl. And how that affected me, and how I grew to realize that it doesn't matter what's here on my skin, but it's the heart.
Right.
And I'm not saying I have a great heart. I'm not. Right. I was just saying that this doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, fair people can be bad people too. You know, like, it's not just dark.
No kidding.
People, you know, it's it just goes.
Anybody can be good. Anybody can be bad.
Exactly.
Anybody can be beautiful. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And everyone is beautiful. That's the other thing. Like, just because you don't look like other people around you doesn't mean you're not beautiful. Everyone is beautiful in their own way. And in the end of the day, who cares about beauty? Right. It's about like your heart and how you treat other people and kindness.
Yeah, you're going to get old one day, you know. Going to get wrinkles and all that
you
stuff.
can be beautiful with wrinkles too.
Yeah, but the point
Our
is...
Our mom has wrinkles. She's beautiful.
She's beautiful. Mommy, you're beautiful.
But what I think my main takeaway from that article is that a lot of people did reach out. Yeah. A lot of young girls and boys as well, because this is not just an issue that girls feel.
Right.
Boys feel it as well.
Yeah, and boys more than anything like get nicknames for the color of their skin, you know?
Right.
Girls probably not so much, but boys get nicknames for that.
Yeah, like tam, hitam, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think also I know of some boys who don't want to play sports anymore because they're considered dark.
Really?
And when you play sports, you're out in the sun and you get even darker.
Oh my gosh.
And especially...
You're going to let your skin color deprive you of that joy?
I know.
Oh, no.
Right? I think it's so sad. I feel that as a whole, we just need to move past it.
Yeah.
This color concept is not a concept.
It's not.
It's just biases that we have that were passed down. Maybe it's not our fault. It's passed down, like Fair and Lovely. It's passed down from generation to generation, and we just have to like truly abolish it.
Yeah, for sure.
But really, I think the place for us to start is by ignoring all of these like whitening products.
Right.
Like if you truly have bad skin and you truly need to like lighten scars, because I know that happens. I used to have scars which I lightened because of the scars, not because of the color of my skin. Then
you use it if you need to
for
the right reasons.
For the right reasons. But I think the place that we have to start is to tell all these brands and all these products that we don't need your whitening products.
We really don't.
We really don't. You cannot judge somebody's beauty based on the color of their skin.
For sure.
And the fact, honestly, washing your face with a certain kind of face wash, I can't say why.
Face wash.
I can't say face wash. Face wash. Washing.
Facial wash.
Okay,
there we go.
Washing your face with a certain type of facial wash is not going to lighten your skin.
Nope.
I mean, maybe there's some science behind it, but you don't need it.
Maybe not. I don't know.
But you don't need it.
You don't need it. And you know what? The darker you are, the less you have to worry about sunburn. And I hear sunburn sucks. So you know what?
Sucks.
Own it, girl.
Own it.
And guy. I don't know.
Guys.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
It's great. I've never been sunburned before.
I've never been.
Right? Isn't that great?
It's awesome because Ashraf and I went to Maldives once.
Right. And
Ashraf
bad.
got so badly sunburned.
Right.
He couldn't even like lie down on his back.
Right.
Because he got so...
See what I mean?
We're
not missing out on anything.
I was fine. I didn't even wear sunblock. Yeah. I mean, I did come back darker.
But
I was like, I was in the sun. I was having a great time. And I don't really care.
Right.
But my teeth looked extra white that week because that was much darker. But on a whole, I just feel like, alhamdulillah, I have come to realize that color doesn't matter.
It really doesn't. Yeah, and you know what? It's still gonna affect us. Definitely. Yeah. Like you said, the baby thing.
Yeah.
Like if you had kids and whatnot. Yeah. So I think it's never going to go away for now, at least. You know, it's just the little things that we can do here and there to support the people who do feel insecure about these things.
Yeah.
And I'm really sorry for all the times that we make jokes about you. I'm going to give a blanket apology on behalf of all our family members.
Thank you.
And I'm just so glad you took one for the team and that it wasn't me, because let's be honest, I'm next in line.
Yeah, it was... I cried.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
No, it's all right. I made you cry about your clothes. Or 50-50.
Yeah.
If you guys have any stories that you like to share about any moments in your life where you felt discouraged by your skin or upset about your skin, or there's any message that you want to share with people who might be watching this, please feel free to comment down below.
And remember to always be kind to one another.
Kindness, because truly that's the only thing that you can share with other people.
That's the only thing you have control over.
Yeah.
Not the color of your skin or the look of your face. Maybe you can control your clothes, but I have a bit of a problem with that. But yes, be kind to one another.
Be kind, everyone. Feel free to subscribe to Dops TV for more episodes of the Weird and Wonderful podcast.
Thank you for listening in.
And we'll see you very soon.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Bye-bye.